Hey everyone, welcome back to Cap and Trade. I am Texans Cap and welcome to our NFL Salary Cap Series 101. This is episode 4. We're going to talk about guaranteed money. This is a big topic, folks. Let's get into it. Okay, so we are ready to go. Let's talk about guaranteed money. This is a huge topic. This is probably one of the more misunderstood parts of the player contract and what you see on social media. And you see the agent driving the reports to the Adam Schefters and the Ian Rappaports and of the world, and you'll see contracts, players sign 5-year extension, 120 million with 75 million guaranteed. That doesn't, it could potentially have 85 million guaranteed, but we don't really know what that means. What's fully guaranteed? What's vesting? What's just injury only guaranteed? It's not a true full guarantee. And so I kind of want to get into that today and what it all means. So got a lot to get into. Let's jump over to the slideshow and talk about it. So guaranteed money. What are some examples and forms of guaranteed money? Base salary, which we talked about in the last episode. Base salary can be guaranteed. Could be guaranteed for skill, cap, and injury. We'll talk about those specific items as well. Signing bonuses, they're guaranteed. Option bonuses can be set to be guaranteed. We'll talk about option bonuses later in another episode. Roster bonuses can be guaranteed, both lump sum and per game roster bonuses. Workout bonuses can have guarantees attached to them. Salary advances as well. There's a lot of ways for teams to have guarantee protections in a contract. So when we talk about guaranteed money, it's guaranteed to offer protection for the player and his money, offer protection from release. So you're often going to hear about the 3 pillars of a guarantee structure, guarantee protection. It's skill, performance related, injury. So like we're saying, it's injury related, cap. So trying to say you have to release a player for salary cap reasons. So skill, injury, and caps, also known as sick. It guarantees and protects the player's money from being released from their playing contract, not from default, but protects their salary from release, from waivers. Okay, so I put up, this is from the CBA, so this is what's in a player release form. So the team will list and check these boxes of what area they're releasing you for. They cannot release a player for injury without having injury protection, and there's some different things there that we'll get into, but basically they could release you for injury, could release you for skill, and release you for salary cap reasons. Now, majority of the teams are going to stick to skill, okay? You're just not meeting the expectations that the team is expected from you. Now, if a player is released for injury, that gets into a whole different thing. That's where, you have injury protection. A team will have to, do injury settlements and things like that. But for the sake of this specific topic, guaranteed money, these are the 3 pillars of guarantee protection. So remember that as we get into these other pieces. So you're also, if a player has all 3 pieces of this and they're guaranteed, then it is considered fully guaranteed if you have all 3 pillars. You'll hear things like it's guaranteed for injury only. Okay, so that means the player, his salary is protected from release if he's injured when that release is attempted to be done. If it's for skill, it's not protected. But if he's got skill, cap, and injury, then it's considered fully guaranteed. Guarantees can vest, become fully guaranteed. So a lot of times you'll see big market contracts. They'll have fully guarantee and then some injury guarantee that will vest into a full guarantee. So let's say, for example, the player signs a 4-year deal, and the first 2 years, his base salary is fully guaranteed for skill cap and injury. But the third year at signing is protected for injury only. Now, there may be a vesting schedule written out in his contract that on the 5th day of the league year of that specific year, the third year of the contract, that injury guarantee will become fully guaranteed for skill cap and injury. So that's what happens when you hear it could vest into a full guarantee, or you'll hear say it's fully guaranteed for the first 2 years with an injury guarantee, and the third year that could turn into a full guarantee. Offset language is another piece of guaranteed money. So majority of the time, guarantees will have offset language attached to them. This is something that tries to get it negotiated out in first round rookie contracts, but for the most part, contracts will have offset language attached. So what does that mean? So let's say a player signs a 1-year deal with a team worth $1.5 million, received a $500,000 signing bonus and a $1 million base salary. Let's say of that base salary, $500,000 is fully guaranteed. Now let's say the team releases this player during the last rounds of the 53-man roster reduction. So at the end of training camp after preseason, this player is released. Okay, he's still entitled to earn his $500,000 guaranteed as part of his contract. Now he signs with another team for the veteran minimum salary, $1.17 million, and he stays on that team for the full season, all 18 weeks. The first $500,000 will be offset, so he can't double dip. He will have earned his $500,000 from Team A, and then he'll earn the difference from the $1.17 million with $500,000 subtracted. That will be paid out by the second team. He wouldn't earn the full $500,000 from both teams. So that's offset. So whatever the difference is, that is what the player will earn. It's very rare to not have offset language out there. The week 1 guarantee fallacy. This one drives me up the wall. So you'll see it every year. The Friday after the week 1 season starts. So Tuesday is when the league week starts. So the first game of the season. First week of the season, it gets to the end of the week, and you'll see posts on social media flying out. Now all the veterans, their players are guaranteed for the season. It's not really guaranteed in the protection of guaranteed money. It's not guaranteed for skill cap and injury. It's guaranteed for termination pay. Now, termination pay is a one-time use for any players, so they have to be a vested veteran to qualify for this. They have to be, have 4 years of service. And let's say they have a $3 million contract. Nothing's guaranteed in it. And the player gets cut week 2 of the season, right? So he only earned 2 weeks of pay of the total $3 million. Because he's a vested veteran, the $3 million will stay on that team's salary cap, but he's not earning that $3 million because it wasn't guaranteed. When you see media reports that the salaries of those players became guaranteed in week 1, it's because they're guaranteed for termination pay. So that player would have the option to file for termination pay to earn that $3 million. They can only do that once in their entire career in the NFL. So if he signed another big contract the following year for $4 million and got cut 3 weeks in and he didn't have the guarantee protection, he would not be able to qualify for termination pay. So it's it's only guaranteed for termination pay, and it hits the salary cap in that season. So that player, like we talked about, 1 year, $3 million, the $3 million would stay on the salary cap for that league year. And then if they elected not to take the termination pay, that team would receive a credit the following season for the difference of the money not earned. But that one drives me insane every year. So you see media reports, players signed $100 million with $60 million guaranteed. What does that mean? Let's wait for the details. And generally, it's going to take 2 to 3 days to get a lot of those details. But how much is guaranteed at signing? How much of it is new guaranteed money? Is there a vesting schedule? Things like that. And so it's important to know that what you read on social media, what you read in the blogs, what you read in the article may not be true, right? So this specific player, let's say for this example, $100 million, maybe it's a 5-year deal, so $20 million per year, $60 million $60 million guaranteed. Now that probably could mean $35 million is fully guaranteed, and the rest and has $25 million in just injury protection, or 10 of that $25 million could vest from injury protection into full guarantees. But it doesn't always mean that they have a full guarantee protection for that $60 million. So just keep that in mind when you see those reports out there. Wait for the details. Wait till overthecap.com gets those details posted. We will break it down for you. What's fully guaranteed, what the vesting schedule is, what part of it could just be injury guarantee and it has no other guarantee protections included with it. Now, another part to guaranteed money is default. Now, this is a sticky subject, and it could be resulting from a player suspension. It could be injury from non-approved activity, like skydiving, four-wheelers, things like that. And teams will put in a lot of that language into the contract, and we'll take a look at it here in just a second. But if a player gets injured in one of those activities, or he gets suspended, or does something conduct detrimental for the team, then they may have the right to void out that guarantee protection. So that's kind of what was going on with Deshaun Watson of the Cleveland Browns, and if they could void out any of that guaranteed money. Now, one that I'm familiar with is with the Houston Texans with Azeez Al-Shaair, the linebacker. He had default language in his contract that said that if he was suspended if he was suspended more than 2 games, then he would be in default of his guarantee protection, which was, I think, a $9 million protection in 2025, this coming season. When he had the illegal hit on Trevor Lawrence, he was suspended. And there was a lot riding on that suspension from a guarantee protection standpoint. He ended up being suspended for 3 games. So per that contract, the team can void out his guarantee protection because the suspension was more than 2 games. There's a lot of things teams can work in there. This is where the power and the experience of a good qualified agent can kind of weed through these things and try to pull out and get taken out certain languages that just don't make any sense. Because I've seen default language that resulted to players being late to meetings. Just very innocuous stuff. Any kind of team fine could void the guarantees, and so veteran agents have really gotten good at this to try to weasel out some of those weak default terms and just try to stick to the big ones. So this is a form. This is a portion of a contract, just so you can kind of see here what the guarantee structure looks like. So this player has, for the 2025 season, has a $6 million guarantee. And you see it's got the 3 pillars for skill, cap, and injury. So this salary for 2025 for $6 million is fully guaranteed. Okay? Now you'll see, if you have to zoom in a little bit, But you'll be able to see some of the things here, like things significant. He would be in default if he gets hurt doing non-football activities such as riding a motorcycle, riding a motorbike, off-roading, all-terrain vehicles, playing basketball, baseball, softball, snowboarding, water skiing, any fireworks or explosives. All these things, if a player were to get hurt doing one of those things without the team's express permission, then they would have the ability to default and void out this guarantee protection. So the players have to be very careful what they do in their off time. If you're going to do one of those things, you need to make sure that you get permission from the team and get all this covered out with your agent. It's very important. So this is why I talked about a good, strong agent will be able to protect a player by making sure that there's adequate language in here to avoid any kind of voiding situations, like to talk about before, where there's funny ones in there about missing meetings or team fines or anything like that. So very important stuff. A lot in there with guaranteed money. A lot with guaranteed money. And probably could have gone on a little bit further, but I just wanted you to kind of hit the high aspects of it. So just know there's 3 pillars of guaranteed money: the skill, cap, and injury. There's offsets with it in the majority of contracts, so players cannot double dip. Don't fall for the week 1 guaranteed fallacy. Like we talked about, that's with termination pay. But guaranteed money, always look for the details. Wait for the details to come out, because there's a lot of funny wording out there in social media. But it's very important. But guaranteed money, it's always a tricky situation. If you got any questions, comments, post them down below. I'll try to answer what I can. If I can't, I will fold it up into the Q&A at the end of this series. So this has been a fun one. This has been episode 4, Guaranteed Money. Make sure you stick around. See you in the next episode.